realized I don't have the title card ready to go.
On the place card. So all right, well, gonna have to make a new one, I guess.
Yeah. Good thing the production values are not too high.
Yeah, no kidding.
There we go.
Just getting dragging here, folks. So
Here we go.
oh, we're good to go.
Let's hit it.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
There's probably a dunce cap filter I could put on for when it mentions the idiot.
There you go. Fair enough. Well, we gotta remind people. Well, yeah, remind people.
Oh yeah, why is it called Earl and the Idiot? So the purpose of the show is we have a evil marketing genius on the show, and in order to elicit from him the important information, we needed someone to ask the stupid questions. And or for some reason, Earl thought I'd be great at it.
I fought tooth and nail not to call it Earl and the Idiot.
It was my idea.
Like 30 other names, and then we had the test in our room of peers, and then everybody burst out laughing, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you win.
And everybody remembered it, kept bringing it up, and we had to go for it. So here we are. I'm here to ask the stupid questions to get the smart answers.
There you go. Actually, I find that if people just ask me stuff, it pulls more out of me than if I just randomly teach things. So there you go. It does work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I'm here like usually not knowing exactly what you're going to talk about. So I'm as confused as the audience is, and then I can ask the questions, right? They don't have to embarrass themselves by admitting they don't know something. I'm taking one for the team.
There you go.
Speaking of the team, for those of you listening, I can't see, please welcome our reindeer Squishmallow.
Excellent.
Background there.
There you go. What's up, reindeer Squishmallow?
Festive reindeer Squishmallow.
You guys are also Squishmallow collectors.
Oh my god.
Yeah. My daughter has every axolotl Squishmallow. Just so you know.
Yeah, some people really went hard for the axolotls. It was never our thing. But they got it dialed in over at Squishmallow Central. I want to talk to those guys. Maybe we can get those guests on the show. What was the magic sauce? Because a lot of companies have like made fake ones.
Oh yeah,
and they're never as good.
No,
there's tons of fake ones. With the Squishmallows, you see it. I mean, not me, obviously, I'm a man, but my girlfriend.
Yeah,
you see this mallow, and you're like, I got to have that mallow. Like, it's just something about the aesthetics of it. You're like, I can't walk by this mallow and not grab it. And then they make the fake ones, and you're like, I don't care about the fake ones. It's nothing. So like, what's the magic sauce?
Good. That was good. I don't know what makes them good. I fell in love with the crab one. It was the crab Squishmallow. I had to buy it because it had little pincer things, and yeah, it's great.
See, you got it. You just got to have it.
Like, okay, I require this crab Squishmallow because it's a Squishmallow and I'm Asian and we like seafood.
See, I mean, part of the magic sauce, of course, is they make like, I don't even know, 300, 400 different mallows, making new ones all the time. So at some point, they're going to hit they're going to hit something that means something to everybody.
Pretty much. Yeah, there you go.
So that's one method.
Although I'm not a fan of the sideways squishy ones. I like the reindeer one. I like the one that just sit upright. I don't like the stackable ones. The ones that kind of they're trying to be what's called Tsum Tsums, the Disney stackable ones. We're also Tsum Tsum connoisseurs. Apparently, my wife has like stacks and stacks of these things. So she's like, no, that's a Tsum Tsum. The Squishmallows stand up like this. Just lying down Squishmallow is a blasphemy. So.
Yeah, they made some that had arms and legs, and I was like, no, that's not the deal.
No. There you go.
So, how's your week going?
Pretty good. We have the Christmas party on the yacht coming up tomorrow, so that's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, gonna be a big throwdown. Lots of drinking.
Yep. There you go. Well, for people who like drinking, I don't drink much because it doesn't do anything. I don't know if you know that weird factoid about me. I can't get drunk or high apparently. So
I think you mentioned it. That'll save you lots of money and health.
Yeah, I guess, but then everybody else is getting drunk and high around me. Like, this isn't fun. So, hey, Earl, why you want me to be the designated driver again? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Yay.
It's not that great. Everybody thinks it's great. It's not that great.
Well,
I see. When you lack the embarrassment gene like I do, you can act like an idiot without benefit of alcohol.
Oh, there you go.
And then you don't feel like crap the day after either.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I've never had a hangover, never been drunk, and never been high. It's weird. Not for lack of trying. Just
Yeah. Okay.
We tried.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think I stopped after like what, 10 times the consumable amount that regular people had for like certain substances. And I'm like, yo, this is probably not gonna work. So there you go.
You lack the gene.
I lack the gene. So there you go.
Fair enough. Thought I was going to say something else, but I can't think of what it was.
There you go.
All right, so I guess we'll just dive right into it.
Dive right in.
Dive right in.
The key.
So it is Christmas time, and there's maybe we're a little early on this because Boxing Day is coming up. For if any American friends listening in, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas in Canada and other Commonwealth nations, and it's the traditional day of camping out in front of department stores for big sales.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's obviously
goes on sale the day after Christmas because everyone got their Christmas presents already. It's like, well, now we got to get rid of all this stuff.
Yeah,
so,
it's just late. I don't want to put this back in the warehouse. Just come buy it for half price.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're talking today how to run a sale / when to discount. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So when is it right to discount your product? And the answer is technically never.
Oh my gosh.
Technically never. So you're never supposed to truly, really just discount for the sake of just truly discounting, right? So one of the rules.
See, I'm an idiot and I don't understand because I think I see sales all the time. Are they not discounting their product? What's going on here? Earl, the genius, tell me.
Because nobody told them. No one taught them, right?
Ah.
So realize that business is a game of margins, right? And since business is a game of margins, depending on what your margin is, whatever you're discounting eats hard into your profits, right? Because you still got the cost of goods, you still got the overhead that you gotta. So you got the cost of goods. So let's use Squishmallow since we were talking about the Squishmallow, right? So there's the cost to produce the Squishmallow, which I'm sure is made by, folks in other countries that just build whatever you tell them to build with Nike shoes and everything else. But there's the cost for it, but then there's the overhead of shipping the damn thing, and they might not be very heavy, but they're squishy and they're big, right? So there's the size it takes to ship these darn things. Then there's the rent it takes to operate the store. Then there's the staff it takes to operate said store and cash register. Unless it's at Walmart where there's a self-checkout line, right, by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So there's overhead for these things, and what people aren't learning is they think that to make things sell faster, you discount them. And when you discount stuff, you're just slashing the prices. But if you're not watching your margins and watching your numbers carefully, you might end up selling stuff for less than it costs to actually acquire and sell it. So you're selling stuff at a loss, right? So
right, because if you do a 10% discount on the product, it might be 100% discount on your margin.
If your margin was only 10%, then you're done, right? your game is over, right? Now, again, it depends on the nature of your business, right? So I'll give you an example. There's a linens and bedding place where they always sell everything for double whatever they pay for it. So if they pay $10 for something, they're selling it for $20. So they're the differential there's 100%, right? Right. So they're doubling up on whatever they're making. But don't forget that there's still the overhead costs to run the store itself, the store, the staff and everything else. So let's say that the overhead was, let's just ballparky 30%-ish of it. So you got 70% left, right? If you put this thing on sale, right, at, let's call it 30%, what happens to the margin that's left over at the end of the day, right? Because if it's 30% and you're selling it for double what you're getting it for, you're losing it at 60 essentially. And then you've only got 10 points left. You're barely scraping by. But if it's a ploy to get non-moving stuff off of your shelf, then by all means do that so you can get stuff off your shelf. But try not to sell things at a loss unless there's a reason behind it. So unless it's in a bundle, So a bundle is one thing. If you're selling it in a bundle, so you can increase the average order size. Say if you buy this, then we'll throw this in for this price. Well, then that's fantastic. Now you're getting that deal, but you're also moving more product. So if you're bundling something together, right? And a downsell versus a discount, So if the thing that they're trying to buy is too big, or it's just too much for them, right? And you downsell them to a smaller product, and you put that product on sale just to make it easy to move it off the shelf again, right? You have to give a reason. The reason can't just be straight, let's just rip the price in half for no reason at all, right? It's if you want to get it off the shelf because you want to make room for the next shipment coming in, absolutely, right? If you want to bundle it in together with a bunch of other stuff, absolutely. If you want to sell it as like a loss leader. So, for example, hey, the milk's on sale, but you got to go all the way to the back of the store and through the cereal aisle and survive the cookies and survive every other thing that you can dip into milk, right? With a bunch of milk recipes along the side for your convenience, right? Because they're going to make you buy everything alongside the recipe as well. So that's still a bundling technique, if that makes sense, right? So you're selling it alongside other stuff, then as long as you're increasing the average order value, increasing the lifetime value of the client, then by all means, slash some prices. But, do it for a reason and not just no reason at all. And some people do it for no reason at all, getting into business going, well, that's how stuff works. But they're not taking into account that, the grocery store puts the milk at the back, right? Because A, it's easier to refrigerate the stuff, along the sides, right? And B, they force you to walk through every other thing that requires this product. So not only are you just buying one, you might be buying two.
I understand the example, but as a guy who used to run a coffee shop, they do not ever discount the milk.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they'll say that they discounted the milk, or they'll say that, hey, and it's like, hey, you know what? The funny thing is, as a coffee shop, I started to look into like the underlying businesses of like this coffee shops as an example. And you look at like the big old Starbucks.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, if you look at the ratio of milk to coffee that they actually sell, they're like the milk. They're not the coffee shop. They're the milk store.
Yeah, it's basically coffee is just a sort of flavoring they add to their milk is really like how it is over there.
Pretty much. So just look at the milk to everything else ratio, and these guys are in the function of buying and selling and moving milk. So the supply truck actually stopped by 2 Starbucks while I was taking my walk the other day, and the amount of coffee that they moved from the supply truck was minuscule. The amount of milk was kind of ridiculous. I'm like, that's a lot of milk.
You know something weird when so totally unrelated to anything, but also very interesting. When I first got into the coffee shop, I was like, okay, well, where can I go to a milk supplier? Can I like get wholesale milk, cut out the middleman and bring my cost of milk down? It's actually more expensive if you don't buy it from a retail outlet like Safeway.
There's expensive to go direct to the milk guy.
Yeah. There's some kind of government milk subsidy that reduces the what's that?
The milk monopoly.
The milk monopoly.
The milk mafia.
The milk fia. There's some kind of government subsidy in there to make milk cheaper for consumers. So when you buy the milk wholesale, it's more expensive than the milk that gets sold retail, and it's the weirdest thing. So the whole time I was running a coffee shop, I was just purchasing milk from the Safeway like everybody else, even though I was buying 8-9 jugs at a time.
Gotcha. That's an interesting observation. I never knew that. Here, this is the secret underworld of the coffee shops.
Yeah. Well, that would have been your first thought too. Reduce costs. Oh, what are you spending the most on? Oh, well, we buy 8 jugs of milk every couple of days. All right, let's get find a guy with cows and get a direct milk supply. Nope.
So the way to get around that then is to find discounters, and let's put the weird hat on. Why not? Find discounters of gift cards and gift certificates, and buy the gift certificates at a discount, and then use those gift certificates to then buy the milk from, and that's how you get the discount from.
God damn it, Earl! Can't anything just be normal with you?
No, never.
Where do you find
if I don't where do you find these things?
Yeah,
Well,
where do you find discount gift cards?
there's places that do a secondary market on gift cards. So there's secondary markets of gift cards everywhere. Just look up secondary market gift card on Google, and I'm sure you'll find a bunch. And so, okay, so for Christmas, you get an $85 gift certificate to the Bay or something from your aunt, and you're like, I never shop at the Bay. I don't want this, right? And you're like, oh, well, I want to off it, but nobody wants to buy an $85 gift card for $85 because then they have to get up, find you, exchange, blah blah. So it's not worth it. So what the third party market will do is they'll buy it off of you for a 20% discount, sell it at a 10% discount, and pocket the 10% differential. Right? And so they make that 10% difference. It's worth it for people to come buy this damn thing for 10% off. But now you've effectively gotten 10% off of your purchase for whatever you're gonna go buy. So there's always ways by which to go around and do that. Another method by which is to use trade and barter. So if I use trade and barter, I'm selling things for pennies on the dollar. We could probably dedicate an entire show to that. But if we use trade and barter to buy things for like pennies on the dollar, I could trade something that is, of like just minuscule cost to me, right? So let's pretend I run a classroom. I got 100 seats in my classroom. 80 of them are already sold. There's 20 left. Why don't I just trade the other 20 for gift cards and stuff, right? What did it actually cost me? Nothing. Zero. Right? I already paid for the classroom. I already paid for the desks. I've already paid for the teachers. I've already paid for, the workbooks that need to go out there. Well, it's not going to cost me anything net new, right? So I might as well just trade these them. What's my cost for the $50 gift certificate to the grocery store when I would have paid for the classroom anyway and the teacher anyway? Well, technically the answer is zero. So I got the milk for free, technically, if you trade properly. So there's ways to get around stuff.
Did we do a show on the trade network?
I think we talked about it briefly, but we didn't like deep dive into like super duper like trade,
we should
economics
we should add
101.
We should add that. I think we could talk about it for quite a while.
There we go. I'll add how to use barter and trade into our idea pile that we have.
Stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned.
There we go. Future episode for sure.
Watch this space. Okay, let's get this ship back on the rails here. Follow-up sequence post-promotion. Okay, so you've done some kind of a loss leader. You're talking about loss leaders, or something to get people in the door. And now
if you're doing a sale, so here's an example, right? So Groupon, the king of all salesy things, where it's always 50 or 75% off the thing, right? So there was this one restaurant that caught me on Groupon. I'm like, okay, I like that place. We got to go. And it was something crazy like 60% off, 75% off, right? Now, first things first, what they were giving away for that Groupon was something that I knew as a marketing guy and a business guy that, hey, their margins on this is ridiculous, right? So the thing that they were doing on the Groupon, actually, funny enough, was pasta, right?
Not milk.
Not milk. Well, maybe a little bit of milk splashed.
There's milk in there, yeah.
Yeah, there's milk in there, but it's primarily pasta. And if you think about pasta, like how much does it cost for like a box of spaghetti and like at the store, and how much does it cost for a plate of spaghetti at a restaurant? Like you look at the restaurant, $20-$30 for a plate of spaghetti. And I think when we buy these things on sale, they're like 99 cents each. And that box could feed like 5 people. So the margin that is it's gonna be somewhere upwards between 200% and 300%. Right, so you're looking at these numbers at 200-300% margin on the pasta. They're giving it for 75% off. They're still making out with a profit, right? So if you put it up there, so this restaurant example, they put this dish up here, and they're like, hey, you can get this dish as one of our best selling things for 75% off. People come running, and then but it's a nice-ish restaurant. It's not like super duper high end, but it's not like the bottom of the barrel either. These guys have relentlessly hit us because part of the questionnaire when you get in there is, when is your anniversary, when's your birthday, special events and that sort of thing. And they have been absolutely relentless at hitting us for anniversaries, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, like every special event you could think of under the sun. And I swear to you, like they've hooked us back into that place 5, 6, 7 times. off this one single Groupon. So that's an intelligent usage of the sale, right? And they keep getting you back with, again, hooks to other things that we know are definitely high margin, right? So desserts are typically high margin items, right? They make great money on desserts. They make great money on usually typically drinks. So when they bring you back for a free bottle of wine on your anniversary, they give you a free cake on your birthday. That sort of continual follow-up and promotional system, those are great because they're already making good margin on them anyways. It's rare that someone's going to come into a nice place and go, oh, we're only going to take the free bottle of wine and then we're going to jet, right? They're going to go, well, you were already here. I love the cheesecake. I like this. I like that. Whatever you're into, and you're going to get an upsell, right? Or a chance to upsell. And it's really tough when you're at a place with the food that smells great. The food like wafts by you. You're like, oh, I smell that, right? It's just like, I gotta have this. I gotta have the appetizer. I gotta have this piece. I gotta have that piece. So they're always making money from that one campaign, and that one campaign has paid off dividends for them it's been years, right? And
I think I remember hearing with Groupon, it fell out of favor because places like some kind of helicopter tour would run a Groupon, and thinking that people would show up and be like, oh, I'm so hooked on helicopter tours, I'll come back for 5 more this month.
Well, yeah, that's the fail side of Groupon, right? Like, and so talking about Groupon fails, you got to do the math, right? And that's really it. Most business owners aren't thinking about the math when they do a discount or they do a deal, right? So the typical Groupon math is they ask you to do somewhere between 50 and 90% off, right? So 50 to 90% off. If your margins aren't in the triple or quadruple digits, you're going to take a hit, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is. And so this helicopter place, as an example, went out of business.
Oh,
they died. They actually died. Well, think about it. Like, helicopter gas is probably one of the most expensive things ever, right? So it doesn't just run on happiness and sunshine. So the helicopter, like, usually you go on a helicopter ride, it's an experience, and then you're done. You're like, okay, well, we're never doing that ever again, but that was really fun, right? So I'll give you an example. I did a helicopter ride to the Grand Canyon. That was really cool. Seeing the Grand Canyon from a helicopter, really cool. I did a helicopter ride from Hawaii, right? And it was pretty neat. When we were there, the guy in the helicopter is like, you'll recognize this bit of the trip. And we're sitting there. So this was where was this? This was Hawaii. This was on Maui. And he's like, you'll recognize this for some reason. And everyone's like, yeah, we totally recognize it. And no one understood why we all recognized it. He's like,
let me guess.
Opening.
Da-na-na-na-na,
there you go.
Yeah.
It was the opening to Jurassic Park. And we're all like, oh yeah. So, but the thing is, though, although those were really great life experiences, unless I'm bringing new people to this thing. So my wife and I went when we were like younger. But unless we're bringing the kids to come see it, or but even then, after the kids see it once, like, okay, cool, we did this already. Check, bucket list done.
I think the only possible repeating business would be like if it was a business person, bringing in foreign investors or something and wanting to show them the city. That's like the only recurring helicopter customer I can think of.
Or if I needed to get to the island really damn fast.
Yeah,
right. This is
then that's not a tour. That's just the actual helicopter.
Right, just the helicopter usage, right? But like, there's a right way and a wrong way to use a Groupon. There's a right way and a wrong way to use a sale, right?
So how would you have told the helicopter company to use Groupon then?
The helicopter company to use Groupon?
Yeah, is there even a way to make it work?
It depends on what their upsell, downsell, cross-sell pathways are. So if I were to look at the helicopter company and I bundled it with a train ride, and I just use train tickets on the overages of the train tickets, right? Or there is a company that actually sells overstock rooms at hotels. Yeah. So and you can actually get those for the cost of cleaning and tax.
Oh wow.
And so there's like super high-end hotel rooms that like normally they're like $500 to $1,000 a night. You get them for like $30, right? Like that's the tax on the damn thing. So if I were to combine the helicopter valuation with the hotel room normal valuation, and I got the hotel room for $30 and it's worth $1,000 or whatever, and I give you a 50% discount, I'm still making $500 on valuation for the deal as a bundle put together, right? The helicopter, okay, let's say the helicopter burns $300 in the deal. If I'm still up $200, I'm still up $200, right?
Right.
And where I'm making the money is if I'm the tour guide operator and I'm in cahoots with the hotel. Typically hotels have spas, restaurants, gift shops, and that's where they're going to make their money in that transaction. They're going to upsell you to the spa. They're going to upsell you to the gift shop. They're going to upsell you to the other
mini bar
amenities that they have. Yeah, the
They're
mini
going to
bar.
get you with the mini bar.
So yeah, but that's it. That's it. You bring people into the arena at where there's no cost to you. It doesn't bleed you out, but you've got chances to upsell, cross-sell, downsell them. And that's where you're going to make that money. So if I were the helicopter company before they died, right, I would have done a joint venture deal with other touristy type things, because most of the time, like the funny thing, I haven't done a helicopter tour of my own city. I live here, right?
Oh, I thought that was here.
Never done a helicopter tour of here. No, I did the Grand Canyon. I did Maui. Right, we did like a bunch of other places, right? But we've never. I've ridden in a seaplane here, but I've never ridden proper in a helicopter here for any other reason except for one helicopter tour to go check out a helicopter hangar. But that's it.
Was that where was the helicopter company that went bust? Was that here or was that somewhere else?
It was somewhere in the States, somewhere in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Right.
So. But yeah, so the helicopter company died because they didn't take into account that how much gas cost. They didn't take into account recurring revenues or side revenues or cross revenues. Like, well, they didn't think about that. They're like, hey, let's just put this on sale and they'll come back.
It was a total dead end of the customer. Here, you took the helicopter ride, and it cost me a bunch of money, and then they probably didn't even have some method at the end to say, okay, let's book your next helicopter ride at full price.
Right. Or let's do anything. Let's bundle this with some other fun touristy type thing. Right. Mm-hmm. And so other, Groupon fails would be like the wedding photographer. Mm-hmm. Right. Like the wedding photographer who came in here and most people only get married once. Right. For the vast majority of us. Right. So, and depending on the nature of, the structure, like, you can't sell them the wedding photographer thing now at full, and then your next wedding will give you 50% off. The next wedding will give you 75% off.
Can you imagine the wedding photographer handing you, here's $50 off your next wedding?
Right, exactly. It's kind of awkward at the like, oh, what do you mean? And so because it's difficult for those types of things, usually it's a one shot, like on average, right, per person deal. Unless they're selling something else beyond that. So if that wedding photographer was also a baby photographer and was also, let's call it a graduation photographer or Sweet 16 photographer or whatever, and there was an upsell pathing to it, right? There's certain things that you don't put on Groupon because they don't make sense. They're usually a one-shot dealio, right? The same could exactly be said about a child photographer, like a baby photographer. We hired a baby photographer for our kids. Yeah. Right. They had the cute little outfits, the cute little setup, the cute everything with the whole everything. They're on clouds. They look like a little angel with wings and stuff.
A little Ann Geddes action going on there.
Yeah, totally. But you don't put that stuff because parents are the dumbest people in the world, right? Right when the kids are cute and they're tiny and you sell them stuff, they will pay full price for this. There's no need to put this stuff on sale. If you told me, hey, this package costs $700, all right, $700, please, right? So I would have happily paid full price because they're the kid, right? It's like cool, right? The same thing would be said about fur babies, right? So if you the animal sector, dog, cat, bird, whatever, like my damn bird has like so many stupid toys. None of them are discounted. They were all full price, but the bird's happy. Right. So certain things do not belong on Groupon because if they're a one-shot dealio, like, and there's no scale path or no sale path to make more money, then don't put that there unless you're bundling it with other stuff. And then the last fail is they always tell you, and this is their fault 100%. I'm a Groupon, I'm calling you out. Like people that I know, Groupon's like, well, what's your best selling thing? Like, don't put your best selling thing on Groupon. It's already your best selling thing.
You're already selling that. You don't need to sell it any harder.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go back to the first thing. You got a bunch of stuff on the shelf that's not moving. Yeah, Groupon that stuff, sell it, but do it in exchange for the customer's phone number. Do it in exchange for the customer's email. Yes, you sold the item at a loss, but if you got, a half decent marketing guy, right, or gal, they can then reactivate that customer and sell them something else. Don't put your best selling thing on Groupon. Hell, don't even put your, second best selling thing on Groupon, right? Put your worst selling thing on Groupon and then upsell to the top and second top best selling things and go make a bunch of money, right? Because once you got them in the store, hey, I'm already here. I might as well try the cheesecake or whatever else, the coffee or more stuff. So hope that helps.
But even if you've got something that's just cluttering up the shelves and not moving, you discount that. You're still going to want to try and upsell or add some recurring revenue in there, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, there's always got to be a next path. So when we teach sales training 101, right? You're using a CRM, you're going from point to point to point. The most important thing in the sales CRM is what is the next step? What is the next step? And if there is no next step, you failed, right? If there is no next step, something's wrong with the business or the structure or whatever you're doing. Because if there's no next step, then what's your sales guy doing to then further that relationship that they built with the client at that point?
What if you're selling something that it's like a one-shot deal, like a new roof?
Or like a car or like a whatever. Well, there's still cross-sell, upsell, downsell. So just because you sold the new roof, like I know tons of roofing companies, for example, that have done joint ventures with solar panel guys.
Sure. Yeah.
And the solar panel, they typically say you don't pay for it. Instead of paying your electric bill, pay us, we'll supply the power. And over time, what happens is that they just keep making extra money, right? That those are those evergreen type of methodologies by which they're going to keep making money forever, right? And there you go. And then not only do you sell the solar panel, you sell the insurance on the solar panel in case the hailstone gets it, right? And
batteries.
For the most part, those things, they're made well. They're not going to break easily. At least I hope not. And unless your insurance guy is terrible, right?
then you can sell. Then you can also start selling them on more efficient appliances, so you use less power on the other end.
I mean, look at what Tesla's doing today, right? They just unveiled the $15,000 homes, right?
Oh yeah,
and it's the house in the box, and everything is LED powered and super high efficient washing machine, super high efficient stove, high efficient dryer. All the appliances are super high efficient, the fridge, etc. And it's almost self-sufficient because the Tesla roof has the solar panels, solar shingles built into the damn thing, and the Tesla battery has the battery inside the house. It's super efficient.
For the record, I came up with the idea of making a solar roof before Tesla announced it. I just kind of dragged my feet on the manufacturing process and the design process and the feasibility steps, and but while I was working as a roofer, while I was working at the roofer as a roofer, I had the idea. I realized it was a good idea.
Absolutely. Well, you're already up there anyways, right? And I've seen some of the Tesla roofs. They're actually really nice.
Yeah.
Some of the materials look like a regular roof, but it's like sucking in the solar.
Yeah. Well, see, I realize this because it's like you roof it, and then you got to put a solar panel on top of that, and then waterproof it through the roof. It's like just make the shingle itself gathering solar power and skip a step.
Makes sense, except in certain parts of Canada where we're basically always covered in snow, and then there's always snow on top of it.
Not Vancouver.
No, not Vancouver for sure, but certain areas it's like, okay, well, yeah, there you go. And so going back to things that are like typically a one-time shot, like don't discount the crap out of your solar panels because
that's your deal.
Exactly, right? So you're looking for recurring income. Don't discount, like you were saying, dead ends. Right? Don't discount dead ends. If it's a one-shot deal forever, never coming back, don't discount it.
Okay. So 10 holidays a year, apparently. 10 major holidays a year.
So yeah, there's roughly 10.
We're into a couple of them right now. What's the 10? What 10 are you counting?
I forget which 10 exactly, because it depends from country to country, right?
Yeah.
Because some countries will adhere to the Black Friday, whereas other countries are like, what the hell is Black Friday?
Mhm.
And then look, we just talked about Boxing Day. Boxing Day here doesn't really happen down in the US as much as Canada. Canada, and like you said, like certain countries adhere to certain things at certain times. But there are roughly 10 major holidays worldwide, depending on where you are, what your religious background is, et cetera, right?
I just want to see how many I can name. Do we count New Year's? Is New Year's a holiday?
Sure, you can do a New Year's one.
New Year's sale. Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Obviously Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, big Halloween sale.
Absolutely.
My birthday. No.
For sure. Birthday.
Yeah, well, most countries have some kind of an Independence Day. We got Canada Day or the Independence Day in the US.
There's some countries that celebrate all their birthdays on the same day.
Really? It's birthday day?
It's birthday day. It's weird. Like I'm like, what? Really? So I know of 3 countries off the top of my head from people I've met. And they're like, happy birthday. It's not my real birthday. It's the country birthday where everybody gains a year right at this day. Like that's like
that episode of The Office where they try to bundle everybody's birthday together, and
that's a real thing. Certain countries actually everybody gains a year on this day, right? I'm like,
your age ticks over on the same day.
Yeah, everyone's age ticks over on the same day, right? So you have a date of birth, but your number on the year doesn't tick over except for that one time of the year where everyone's age ticks over. I'm like, weird. All right, cool.
That is weird. Do they celebrate it? Is it a big festival or is it just a bureaucratic
I think it was a bureaucratic
convenience
thing. I'm not sure if it was convenient. I think it was also a liberation day type thing where they got away from the powers that be, and they
probably the British. It was probably the British.
Did the independence, or who knows? But I'm like, never would have thinking that. And it's like, you'll notice that everybody from this country, and I can't remember which country it was now because I was teaching at college at the time, and like my buddy's birthday, it said on Facebook and it said on LinkedIn, hey, his birthday's today. I'm like, cool. I was like, happy birthday, buddy. Can I buy you can I buy you a drink, whatever? He's like, no, it's not my real birthday. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like it literally says this on your freaking on your social media. He's like, yeah, but take a look at social media. I'm like, all right, cool. I go in there. He's like, every single person, and I can't remember which country it was, from this country, look what day it is. And I'm like, holy God, it's everybody's birthday. He's like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh. It's just,
I don't like that. It just smacks of government overreach. I'm tired of trying to remember what day you change your age. Everybody just changes their age on this day.
Right.
That's it. Sick of you people.
That's a crap day for the DMV.
Yeah.
It's like, and everybody gets to update their stuff all at once. So
yeah, that's like they got to order a bunch of pizzas and pull an all-nighter just stamping new cards that day, right?
The lineup goes around the block. It's like, nope, yeah, sorry, it's due today.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. So the 10 holidays.
Yeah.
The reason for the 10 holiday comment was, you've got 10 reasons. If you do want to mark down or do something or give a reason to do something, and if you were able to get, let's call it just one client per holiday, right? And you're terrible at marketing because you can only get one on the specials. You can still get 10 clients a year just doing specials on the holidays. But just, going back to what we talked about originally, mind your margins, make sure you're making some money, or there's a follow-up sequence or a chance for them to bring in referrals, other business, et cetera, for that.
Brilliant. So that's 10 excuses. Then you can just make up your own excuses.
Pretty much. Right?
You can celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk Like a Pirate Day. If like so, White Spot here has the pirate pack, and they totally celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day, right? It's like Pirate Day. You can get the pirate pack for $1 off. It's like, sweet. I want the pirate.
If anybody listening from outside of the Vancouver area or BC, are they in BC throughout?
They're BC wide, I think.
They're BC wide. So anybody outside of British Columbia, you're missing out on the White Spot pirate pack.
Well, at the end,
there's a coin in there.
You get a gold coin.
Gold coin.
Chocolate wrapped, foil gold. But that's the dessert that comes with the pirate pack, pirate gold.
I haven't checked in on the Pirate Pack for a while. Obviously, when I was a kid, the Pirate Pack was the most important thing that existed in the universe. But I haven't checked in. They're still doing them, right?
They're still doing them, but sadly, my children have outgrown said Pirate Pack. My son looks at it and he's like, "I'll need about 4 of those."
Yeah,
And,
right.
yeah, exactly. It comes
But
with
they will serve you one if you ask, right? They don't check ID for the Pirate Pack, right? Like you can still get one.
my wife used to be not the biggest eater in the universe. And so when she was in a rush and she wanted the snack, she would just grab a Pirate Pack for lunch and call it a day. And I'm like, because she's at the drive-through and we've got, car seats for the kids. And she's like, I'm ordering a Pirate Pack. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. They would never question her ever. So, but I'm sure if a, big old man drove to the thing and there were no kid seats and it was like a 2-seater, they might look at you a little funny going, really?
Well, as discussed earlier, I lack the embarrassment gene, so I'll be fine. The joy of having a pirate. Honestly, I completely forgotten the Pirate Pack existed.
There you go. Well, speaking of pirates, it's time for.
I'm ready. Hack of the week.
There you go. Hack of the week. So, the hack of the week. Other than you should have a Pirate Pack in everything you do. I don't care what you sell.
That's the pack of the week.
That's the pack of the week. Just have a reason to run a promo. Any reason to run a promo. That's why we talked about the 10 holidays. That's why we talked about just giving a reason why you're reaching out to people, giving a reason to why you're connecting with them, even if the reason is terrible. Right? How many times have you just walked through a mall and there's this random crap in the walkways and they're calling it, of all things, a sidewalk sale?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the dumbest reason I've ever heard. But look at all the people buying stuff. Right?
So I'm just looking this up now because there's obscure weird holidays on every day of the calendar. Pretty much, you just find something that ties in with your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. Just looking at January 1st is Polar Bear Plunge Day. You ever done the polar bear swim?
They have dared me to do it, but I have not taken them up on it.
I did it 3 years in a row.
3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row. I found out if it's raining, it really, really sucks.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Because you don't get to come out into, well, first of all, your feet on the wet sand is way worse.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah. But then when you come out, you're getting rained on, so you're staying cold like until you get to your car. You can't warm up. But I enjoyed it the first 3 years till it rained.
Polar bear swim plus rain equals guaranteed hypothermia.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
January 6th is Bean Day.
There's this guy by the name of James, and he has this thing, I think it's called like the sweary history, and he swears a lot, but he talks about all these really cool, important days in history. And there's always a reason to celebrate. There's always a reason for whatever, right? So,
yeah. Oh, January 20th, Penguin Awareness Day.
Well, there you go.
Followed immediately the day after by Squirrel Appreciation Day.
When is Squirrel Appreciation? I need to write this down. Squirrel Appreciation
Day.
Yeah,
exactly. Like Squirrel Appreciation Day. That's well, I guess no, we won't bring that up. January 21st, Squirrel Appreciation Day.
January 21st, Squirrel Appreciation
Followed by Hot Sauce Day. That's quite the run of days. It goes Popcorn Day, Penguin Awareness Day, Squirrel Appreciation Day, Hot Sauce Day, and January 22nd is Answer Your Cat's Questions Day.
That's really specific.
That's really weird. Do the dogs get an answer?
I remember one time we actually found the registration for special days, and we found that it was super cheap to make your own special day. So the company where we were at, we just come up with some random holiday that was specific to just our company, and we were able to register it. And I can't remember this is like 200 companies ago, so I don't remember the name of the company. I just remember doing this, and we actually registered a special day. It was there, validated. And we even got like shirts and crap for this day. And I'm like, that's a thing. So
January 28th, data privacy day is January 28th. I'm sure there's companies that could use that.
Absolutely. So just look up the holidays that are in the calendar, like even the extra ones, and just come up with it, and people will see it, and give people a reason for the sale. Just again, mind your margins, upsell, downsell, cross sell. Don't forget the sell stuff. And don't forget to make sure that if it's a dead end, don't discount because they got no other choice, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm obsessed with weird holidays now. Apparently, February 2nd. First of all, excuse me. February 2nd is Groundhog's Day, but it's also the Day of the Crepe. Which I don't know why. I don't know. I guess it's because it's French. They put it around the other way. I don't know why it gets, instead of being crepe day, it's the day of the crepe.
It depends on the language, right? Like, sometimes it's a verb, sometimes it's preposition, sometimes it's, noun that goes in front of whichever. So it's just like, okay. So instead of I go, I go to the store, it's I go store or store I go, right? So
store I go, yeah. I like this one. February 16th, do a grouch a favor day.
Do a grouch a favor day.
I know some grouches.
Is March 14th in that list? I'm just absolutely curious now at this point.
Is that your birthday? March 14th, napping day.
Napping day. Oh. Yeah, but it doesn't have the obvious one in there, no?
Oh, it's all, yeah, there's Pi Day is also.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
Like
Pi Day. Yeah.
3.14. Unless you're from a country other than America.
So, why do other countries use
hang on,
what's
my, I can check my birthday. Hang on. We're just burning time now, I think.
Well, we've gone through the material and now we've done the hack of the week and now it's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah. My birthday, by the way, 3 days ago, December 10th. Apparently it's Jane Addams Day. Who in the heck is Jane Addams?
Don't know. Is she related to Wednesday?
Maybe. I'll tell you what day it was for me. It was go shoot guns at the gun range day. There's my shell casing.
Oh yeah, I did see your post on the but very nice grouping, by the way.
Thank you. Only one other person acknowledged my grouping. I had amazing grouping.
Oh, really? Someone actually has someone. I just saw the picture. I was just scrolling past. I'm like, oh, cool. What did it rate?
I was expecting everyone to go, hey, nice grouping. You're only the second person to notice. Even the guy was impressed by my grouping.
Oh, very nice. I think the best range related meme video I've ever seen. I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's this old guy at the range and he's shooting. And
I think I know the one you're talking about.
It looks like he misses and like he just nicks the side of the paper. Pretty much, and he shoots again, nicks the side of the paper, and the guy watching him starts laughing. And then he shoots, and it's just dead center. And then he pulls it back, and then he puts it into a binder. And the bullets that he shot through were the holes for the binder, holes. I'm like, that's freaking genius! Like that guy. Like, how do you even aim for that?
Was that a commercial?
It was a commercial, but because it's become memeified, no one knows what the hell it was for anymore because they cut off all the marketing part of it. They just get the funny part, right?
That's a phenomenon we got to discuss someday. Commercials that you stick in your head, but you don't remember what they were advertising. So
that's every Mexican commercial. We were just in Mexico, and every Mexican commercial is like one guy just heard sex sells. That's it. And so every Mexican commercial I watched was a bunch of scantily clad people running around doing whatever.
And then it's call your accountant today.
And at the last second, it would just talk about whatever the hell they did. I'm like, what? That had nothing to do with what they're selling. And the thing is, it was just back to back to back to back to back. Okay, now we're selling coffee. Now we're selling wine. Now we're selling snacks. And it was just like, oh, look, we're almost naked people. And now you want snacks. Like
almost naked people. Then it's like yogurt. Try yogurt.
Yeah.
Like, this does not relate.
Doesn't compute. But all right, weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, I think we're pretty far afield now. We should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, well, let's call this one episode. So
bring this train into the station.
Absolutely. How to run a sale, when to discount, and there we go. So I'm gonna get the ending music here.
We hope you've learned something today, people. Thank you for joining us on Earl and the Idiot. And,
absolutely.
Play us out.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Thank you, Earl. See you next week.